regroup, assess the change in the situation, and this time position themselves so that they are under the cover of their artillery protection. While the Confederates, sensing that they may have a victory here, are pushing forward to drive the Federals from the field. The Battle of Belmont was a 4-hour engagement that teetered back and forth between the Confederates and the Federals. Both sides were unsure of themselves. They'd gone through the training, but not necessarily had the discipline to function under the actual fire of the enemy. So you see some of the Confederates moving the wounded back, including a Confederate helping a Federal wounded to an aid station. After the battle, there will be a demonstration of medical procedures during the American Civil War. If that one's to put the fear of God into you. If you think going to a dentist was a bad experience. Now, during the American Civil War, anesthesiology, or anesthetics, was quite frequently used. They had already discovered ether as a way of using anesthetics. But at the same time, they had not discovered germ theory. So a doctor would proceed to do one amputation and take the same bloody knife and the same bloody table and proceed to do the next amputation without any consideration of infection. In fact, when you read some of the medical journals, they actually thought that pus in the wound was a good thing, where it was actually indicating infection. A clean wound we thought would not be healing properly. So there was a lot of misconceptions in the medical profession during this time period. They used a lot of medicine. Some didn't work, some didn't work. But there will be an excellent medical demonstration after the battle, so over in the Federal camp. You may want to go take a look at that. You may see some amputations, or clearing wounds, and other things. During the course of this event, we did something a little different. We had a cooking contest. And that was to demonstrate for the public the nature of food preservation, and other things in the life of a soldier. And there was a lot of people that took that tour and went around and saw what the soldiers ate, different types of camps. So please, after the battle, go around, visit the individual camps. There are going to be two basic types. There'll be a campaign style, where the soldiers will be on the march, carrying little equipment, and setting down basically where they stopped. And then you'll see the garrison type camps, where the army has come to a halt, and they are bringing up and holding a position. When they're in the garrison camp, they will have a lot more tentage and equipment. So you can see Confederates are still pushing on the Federals. The Federals have withdrawn to a stronger position. Confederates with artillery support. can watch the artillery. Number 1 man probes the gun, cleans out the residue from the prior shot. He's using a worm to do that. And you see the number 1 on this first gun here twisting with the worm. You see the worm is a giant corkscrew. Now the number 2 man is sticking in a wet sponge, sponging that weapon. And you see the water coming off the sponge. What he's doing is cooling down the barrel and dousing out any embers that are in that barrel. Now a young man is running forward. That is your powder monkey. He is bringing forward the charge. Hands it to the number 1. The number 1 places the charge in the barrel. And the number 2 rams it home. This is the most dangerous operation in firing the gun, because that powder could go off because of the heat of the barrel or if there's any embers while he's ramming it. So he has rammed it. The number 3 is pricked and primed, and they're turning the gun to face the enemy. So the gunner has changed his angle of fire. They have primed the piece. He's placed a primer, the number 4, and he is ready to fire the gun. And the gunner is signaling, his hand is up, the piece is loaded. When he drops his hand, they fire.